Joe, wonderful, cool FM. This is the Pete Snodden Breakfast Show. It's 9:25. Let's bring on Joe McElderry.
Hello.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm very good.
You're very fresh faced. We've had this conversation in the studio this morning. So what time have you been up from, Pete? 4:45. You're looking fairly fresh faced, but you've been working your ass off. You look you're looking pretty good, man.
Yeah, I'm a little bit tired, but I'm all right. I'm just busy. I've been everywhere. I flew into Belfast late last night, and it's a bit of a whistle stop tour. But I love travelling around, so it's fun.
Do you ever get fed up doing interviews like this?
No, I actually enjoy them. You know, it's good, like travelling around and coming into different places. I get to see so many different places, and you know, a lot of jobs you're not fortunate enough to do that. So I kind of think I'm quite lucky.
Absolutely. So, do you ever get fed up? People still bring up X Factor?
Not really. I mean, it would kind of be a bit stupid if nobody mentioned it because it was where it all began. So I kind of understand why people ask about it. But people always try to get us to slag it off for some reason, like as if like I'm gonna just start slating the whole show and saying that I wish I was never on it, and I don't really feel like that. So that's the one thing that annoys us when people try and dig to get us to like start saying nasty things about Simon or the show. Or
I'm not going to ask you to say anything nasty. I'm only going to ask you, do you still watch it?
Yeah, I do, of course, yeah.
Right, okay. I missed it last weekend. Was it any good?
I seen about 20 minutes of it, and the rest I didn't see because I was out with friends. But it was okay. Wasn't the best episode. It was all right.
There you go. All right, that's as close to a slagging of X Factor you're going to get. Right, so after that, obviously your success on there and winning the show, and then you get asked to go back on another mainline television show, as in Pop Star, the Opera Star.
Yes.
How difficult a decision was that to make?
It should have probably been more of a difficult decision because when I look back now, it was quite a risk to take because nobody had heard us singing that style of music. The fans of us before, I didn't know if they were going to embrace that. And I kind of just said yes to it without even thinking because I thought that all it would be is a 6-week show and then that would be it. It would be a race. People would be like, oh yeah, he did that, that was fun. And it wouldn't kind of become part of my career. But it kind of just went into this like whirlwind of craziness and everybody was like, I was going to shows and performing my material from the first album. And like kids and all sorts of ages were like chanting for us to sing Ness and Dorma and things. And I was like, I don't have a backing track for it, sorry. And then I signed to Universal, and it worked out that we were going to do a bit on an album, and people went crazy for it. It took me by a shock. Totally.
Yeah, absolutely, I'm sure it did. Joe McElderry's on the show this morning, ladies and gentlemen. More from him very, very shortly. It's 9:27. McElderry, or some people from this neck of the woods call him Joe McElderry's on the show. That is how it is. That is how it's pronounced.
It is how it's pronounced. And I get wrong off me dad all the time.
So Joe McElderry's the real way?
Well, yeah. Well, I've never been called that from going to school and everything. But my dad used to always say, you're pronouncing your second name wrong. But I've kind of just said that since I was able to talk, because I just assumed that was the way he said it. And then when it came on X Factor, everybody, whenever I come over here, everybody's like, you're pronouncing your name wrong, and I'm like, sorry.
Peter Dixney does the voice of X Factor. I thought he would have known better.
Well, yeah, I mean, they ask you to how you want your name said and everything, and I had to make a decision whether I was going to be called Joseph or Joe.
Right.
Because obviously it sticks. Once they start doing all them big name tags and everything.
So as a kid, whenever you were going up through school, what were you called?
I was Joe McElderry.
Right, you were Joe. Right, yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. And you were going to perhaps change it to Joseph, or you decided not to bother?
Well, no, Simon kept calling us Joseph, and I was kind of like, I never get called Joseph, and I didn't really want that to be my full name if I was going to like release something, because I kind of thought it was a bit too long. So I was like, can we have it Joe? And they were like, yeah, if you want. So they changed it.
How are you, Mr. Kyle, now since you left his record label?
We're not really anything. It's just kind of one of those things where, you know, we'll work together at a period of time. If we're seeing each other, we'd have a nice chat and a catch up. But I think we're kind of irrelevant in each other's lives now. We don't really.
Does he follow you on Twitter?
I haven't checked, to be honest. You can check.
I'll check that. All right. Here, talking to Twitter, do you like Twitter?
I'm a massive fan of Twitter. Yeah. I do love it. I'm always tweeting what I'm up to and where I'm going, and it's nice. It's a nice way to connect with people, you know. I mean, apart from the few idiots that tweet horrible things to people, I'm fortunate that I don't get it too badly. So some people get it a lot worse, but it's a great way of connecting with people who want to chat and see what you're up to.
Absolutely. Now, album number 4. For someone who's come from a TV show like X Factor, it's got to say you're right up there in terms of being one of the most successful people who have come through that sort of way and coming onto the world stage and stuff. Album number 4. Did you expect 4 albums from the outset?
I never the good thing about it is, I think from day one, I've never expected anything. I didn't expect to be an overnight superstar, as they would call it, or whatever. Everybody said all these things, and I never expected anything. I just thought, I'm just going to work hard and see what happens. And that's what I've continued to do. I work hard, I try new things, I take risks, and I think that's the only way I can see that it's happened, And I just keep going, and I keep. I suppose I'm just determined. I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great quality, and it shows that you're still here and you're still doing it, and you've been able to diverse and do bits and bobs and change your style and all of that.
Yeah.
So talk about the new album. What's primarily the style of this? Or you're floating between things? Yeah,
I would say this is kind of the this is very what people will expect me to sound like. It's not the classical sound. It's more just me voice, the big mid-tempo ballads, songs I've written myself this time, which is a first. The first single here is what I believe is one that I wrote with Marcella Detroit from Shakespeare Sister and Gav Clark from the band Uncle. So I've been working with some really credible people, and it's been really fun to be a part of that. So I've never been a part of the songwriting process before, so it's been really...
How have you found that? Is it difficult?
I didn't want to do it at first, if I'm honest. I just didn't... I thought I wouldn't be any good at it, and I just thought, I don't even want to go there. I don't want to open the can of worms.
So whenever you sit down, you mentioned Uncle and obviously your girl from Shakespeare Sister, right? So you sit down with these guys and it's just a blank piece of paper. So where do you start? Do they try to probe you questions-wise in terms of what you've been up to or your emotions, or what way do you start?
Well, here's what I believe started by. We were having a conversation. I think at the time there was loads of cheating stuff going on in the press, and loads of my friends have been talking about it, and everybody's been cheated on at some point in their life, or had something to do with it. And we were talking about it in the room, just a conversation, and before you knew it, the conversation turned into a song, and we just started writing down everything. And it was kind of like, and it's kind of that song is like you're having a conversation with the person you're in love with and saying, like, you can't do it anymore, that, like, you're not putting up with the rubbish that comes along with it, because you're actually better than that. So it's like a little conversation, and it sounds like, if you listen to it, it sounds like a conversation. It's just like, yeah, get lost. I've had enough.
Right. We're going to play the single very shortly. Give us a date. When's the album out?
Album out... can't even speak. Album's out 10th of September, and the single's available to download now. It's digital download. So if you like it, it's out there.
Excellent. Now, tomorrow night you're going to be down to City Hall in Belfast, celebrating, obviously, what will be in a few days' time, the start of the Paralympic Games. Yeah. How'd you end up getting involved with the movement?
I think Sainsbury's are putting it all together, and they asked if I would be a part of it, and kind of, I'm literally going on the Paralympic tour, so everywhere it visits, I'm performing in each stadium as the finale thing of when it arrives, which is amazing. To be a part of that is something historical. So I jumped at the opportunity, and it's great. Again, get to travel around, visit some people over here. I'm going to Edinburgh as well, Cardiff, and it finishes in Stoke Mandeville in Aylesbury. So it's going to be a crazy few days, because I'm literally like jumping on planes to get to the next place after I've been on stage. But it'll be really fun to see everybody, and I'm going to try and get a picture with the torch.
Absolutely.
That's my aim.
Oh yeah, I don't think that'll be a problem. You'll get an amazing response tomorrow night in Belfast, and I wish you all the best with that and with the album. And do us a favour and introduce the new single.
This is my new single. Here's what I believe. I hope you enjoy it.
Joe McElderry, or you heard it here, Joe McElderry. It's Cool FM 19 to 10. Thank you, Joe.